All right, what's good, everyone? Welcome to Wrestling with Things. Do not forget to like our Facebook page at Wrestling with Things and subscribe to us on YouTube at Wrestling with Things. But we're pretty much past the halfway point of the season. We know who's good. We know who's great. We know who's mediocre. We know who's a bottom feeder. So I got to ask you, this deep into the season, who are the real NBA championship contenders to you?
There's only four. If the two LA teams, those are the real obvious ones. And then I would say Milwaukee and Philly and there's only an if on Philly because I feel like Brad Brown as a coach isn't really doing what he's supposed to be doing right now and getting the troops together. He's letting them have locker room issues. He's letting rumors get in their heads. He's letting crowds get in their heads. So if Philly can get Brett Brown to be like a militant type of coach, then I would say Philly's in that conversation too. But there's really only four. The four of those teams are the only ones that you can say are contenders that you can really see in the finals.
Remind me the two LA teams, Milwaukee.
Two LA teams, Milwaukee Bucks, and Philly if Brett Brown can be right.
You know, I knew you was going to do this. You just keep sleeping. You slept in the beginning of the season, and I thought you would wake up by now, but you're sleeping on one other team. I like that list, though. I like that list. The two LA teams are a lock. Those two are the best in the Western Conference, the top conference in the NBA. Milwaukee has the best record in the league, and they got the MVP. They're a lock. I think we overblow Philly's drama. I mean, yes, I do believe they have drama between Joel Embiid and Simmons, but for them two, I just think it's a mindset thing. Their mindset's focused on, being social media famous and celebrity famous rather than being locked in on winning. To me, that mindset could shift by the playoffs, and I personally still have Philly coming out the East. I'm not sold on Milwaukee Bucks as second option, but those four. But how do you leave out Houston? Houston with Russell Westbrook and James Harden together are contenders. I don't care if they choke in the playoffs 100 years
Houston plays 2K basketball.
You put those two together, they're NBA Finals contenders. They are capable of beating any team that plays them in a 7-game series. And them committing to small ball 100% has been a good idea because I think Robert Covington is like a slightly upgraded version of what Ariza was for them back when they had him. I think if they are able to pick up at least just one rotational big man, it doesn't need to be a Clint Capella, just one ring protector to block shots, maybe like a random free agent like Tyler Zeller or some type of bottom of the barrel guy, Joakim Noah. I think he's still out there. If they could get a guy like that to give them 15 to 18 minutes of a big body and shot blocking, they could take out the Lakers or the Clippers if the Clippers or Lakers sleep on them so much.
No, they can't.
Let's not ignore them. They have beat both those teams this year in fairly convincing fashion while playing small ball. I think you're sleeping on Houston, and I think they're legitimate contenders with that top four.
Can I ask you a question?
Go ahead, ask me.
Why do you keep falling for James Harden's tricks?
Because it's not a trick. If you talented and your team is fairly talented and fits what you're trying to do, I gotta look past it and give you your respect. They have a game plan. They all bought into the system. He has role players that don't mind playing the role they're playing, and they got two legitimate superstars still. And Russell Westbrook has picked it up. Russell Westbrook has cut down his threes. He's taking like maybe 3 a game. He's getting to the rack like he did in the Thunder, and he's finishing over anybody. This is what the rest of the league and people like you didn't want to see, and you're ignoring it. They're fitting together. Everybody said that they wouldn't fit. It's working.
So what makes you think it's gonna work in the postseason?
I think particularly against the Lakers, I think they have a fair chance against the Clippers, but particularly against the Lakers, I think the Lakers do not have the perimeter stoppers to even keep up with their fast pace in their offense. I know Houston could, rely on the jump shot a lot, but at the end of the day, who's gonna guard their perimeter? Danny Green's defense has declined a little, but Danny Green, I love. Caldwell Pope's not guarding Westbrook or Harden. Um, they're not even guarding Daniel House or Eric Gordon. I just think the perimeter game could be so on fire and they could get so hot that it could take them over the top in series. I just think we're really sleeping on them more than any other
Dude,
contender. This team
dude, that
is better than the Chris Paul and James Harden Rockets. It
yeah,
just
but
is.
this this team will not be able to do nothing on Anthony Davis if he really wants to get hot, because there is nobody that can possibly contain him from posting them down, getting to the basket, getting easy buckets. Like, if they really want to force feed AD this Rockets team, it will be the easiest night for the Lakers. Same thing with Montrezl Harrell. You know what I mean? Like, those guys are just guys that have brute force, and you need bigger guys to defend those guys.
I don't think the Rockets have somebody on their roster that could stop AD. But even though they're playing small, I think we're underestimating their defender strength. PJ Tucker, he may be 6'6", but he has the strong body and the strength to guard Anthony Davis. Daniel House, he's strong
He's the
enough
only
to.
one.
Daniel House, you're sleeping on Daniel House and Robert
Daniel
Covington.
House.
Daniel House could defend. Daniel House is a really good defender. And on top of that, what they will do, the game plan will be to double AD down in the post with those two, Robert Covington and Tucker, and force LeBron at age 35 to beat them. Let's be honest. You're saying if the Lakers force feed Anthony Davis, they're going to win. There's no if for that. Every time they win, it's not because they play through the post. It's because they play great together, LeBron and AD. I don't think you need to stop both of them. You just got to stop one of them from doing what they do best. And to be honest, you don't want AD being force fed in the post because that's going to slow down the pace even more. And that plays into Houston's hands because they play so much faster than most people.
Even if they do slow down the pace, pick and roll AD with LeBron coming at you, there's no way Houston's gonna be able to stop that. With not one center, they're gonna have to. I'm trying to tell you that right now. They get AD, LeBron pick and roll, people slashing down. There's nothing that will be able to stop that.
Houston, I like how Houston matches up against the Bucks, the Sixers, the Lakers, and the Clippers. I think those are the five realistic contenders. I don't think Utah, we gassed them up a lot throughout the year. I definitely don't think Denver, we gassed them up just as much. I think Houston is they fall into that upper tier. Like we got to give them props. We said it wasn't working. It's working so far, despite the fact that Russell Westbrook ain't the greatest shooter. Let's give them their props. They're capable of beating anybody. Like look at the roster.
Man, come on, man. Those dudes are the biggest two chokers in the whole entire league, and they're playing the smallest lineup. That's not a good comp. I'm trying to tell you right now,
It,
especially if they go up against the Clippers.
They could be labeled chokers, but they're big time stars. They're big time stars in the
in the
league. The
regular
way the league
season.
is set up, you need at least two. They got it. What more can you ask for? Like many teams would kill to have two players of that caliber. Let's put
because
some
of the
respect on that.
because of the popularity and what they do in the
No,
regular
look
season.
what they do on the court.
In the
This
postseason,
it's a
give me a signature James Harden moment in the postseason.
I can't give
There
you.
is none.
I can't give you that. But he didn't
You
play. He didn't
can't.
play. He didn't play awful against the Golden State Warriors last year, even though they lost. He actually played okay. His stats weren't that inefficient. I believe he averaged 30 and 9. He didn't play awful. It wasn't like he completely disappeared. You could crucify him when he completely disappeared on the Thunder versus the Heat. You could crucify him when he disappeared against
Against the
my Spurs,
Spurs.
when Ginobili blocked him. But you can't crucify him for nothing else. He just lost to the team. Let's call it what it is. He lost. He lost.
Nah, he was the main reason for those losses. What big moment did he produce? Not one.
They wouldn't have got to the Western Conference Finals without him. That's big enough for me.
Yeah, but that's not the argument. The argument is when he goes up against big teams, he always comes up small. It's always been like that for him ever since he's got to the Rockets.
I think we're confusing losing every loss means you came up small. He's just losing.
No, there's so many moments where we can tell when we can show you this man has came up small and
there's only really two, and I
made
named
them lose.
them.
You did name them, and there's a handful.
Why we acting like we got a laundry list?
Is it a track record or is it happening once in a blue moon? Tell me what it is. Tell me what it is.
It's a couple of moments where he
It's
wet
a track
the bed.
record, man.
It's not a track record. It's not.
Last year was the only year.
See, that's the problem with today's culture, man. Y'all get married to the narrative that y'all make it the track record. That ain't a track record.
No, that's not.
He lost in a bad way a couple times.
Stop it. Last year was the only year where we can say it was solely his fault. The year before that, it was. The year before that, it was. Come on, man.
So it's on him that the whole team missed like 27, 28 straight threes. That's not him. That's not him doing
11 of them were his.
So
11 of them was his.
The other squad got to make shots.
So that means you can miss 11 shots. Is that acceptable?
I'm saying he's part of the blame, but you're isolating him as if it was a J.R. Smith didn't know what the clock was moments over again. Like, it's not a situation where it's clearly him as an individual messing everything up.
Was.
I don't know about that. I think you're hard on Harden. I never hear Harden get some respect for you when he's better than Anthony Davis. If we're being honest, Harden is better than Anthony Davis if we're being honest. Accomplishments, style of play, the way they could take over a game, and he can't even get that type of benefit of the doubt in a series. He's better than Paul George. So if he's ghost crazy, either one of those LA teams will be shitting their pants.
Yeah, because he brings attraction. He brings butts in the seat. He's box office. He does do great things all regular season long. But when it comes to the postseason, we can't sit in there and act like he's the man that you want with the ball in his hands. Stop it. That's never been him. It's never been him, and neither is Russell Westbrook. Russell Westbrook has always been a loose cannon, and he's always just come up short.
I see a different Russ, man. I look into that man's eyes, and I truly see a different Russell Westbrook, man. I think he sees that this is his last shot, man. Like he has to make this work. They both are in that mode. Sometimes it takes that mindset to just shift. They both are like 30 years old. They know they're in the square middle of their prime. It's now or never. I really like their chances against anybody. I really do. I need us to stop thinking that automatically it's gonna be a LA conference finals. It might not be.
Man, Houston cannot beat any of those teams. I'm
All
telling
right.
you right now. They
Why?
can't.
So
They
so
have no shot.
so
No
so
shot.
them a few times in the regular season doesn't count for nothing when
It
it comes
doesn't
to
count
the
for
7 series.
postseason. That
It
you
does
can
count.
what?
It does count.
Bro, there's so many times where we see contender type teams struggle against a team in the regular season, and then the
Absolutely.
postseason they will wipe them out. That has
Absolutely.
happened
No,
before.
absolutely. But at the same time, it's the way they're winning these games. They're winning it with small ball. Why should I think small ball will stop working suddenly?
Because in the postseason, the game actually slows down a little bit more, and they strategize more for one team for like 2 weeks. There is no way that Houston is going to be able to take out the Clippers with that crazy defense, and then let LA with a huge lineup. There's no way they're gonna be able to take them out.
That's I can't wait till they match up against one of them, and they'll be capable of beating someone that you don't think they'll beat. Just watch. Russell Westbrook is better than Chris Paul, and that's gonna be the difference this time.
Yeah.
Get involved in the conversation. Do not forget to subscribe to
Let's
us
go.
on YouTube at Wrestling with Things and like our Facebook page at Wrestling with Things to keep up with our video content on the sports and entertainment world.